Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Oilers fans. I know that was a tough loss, but we have to understand that that was a fantastic performance by the Edmonton Oilers. Look, you're down one superstar to start the game. You go into the third period, you're down another superstar. Oh, and on top of that, you don't have your starting goaltender in the third period because of some concussion protocol, which is good for the player's safety. So you're kind of depleted against the best team in the league right now, who has arguably, if not the best goaltender in the entire world right now. Yeah, that's a little bit of an uphill climb for the Edmonton Oilers. But look, Oilers lose 4-3 in overtime. I'm not mad. This is against one of the top teams in the league, and the fact that we were able to hold them 3-3 or keep them within check and just even push it to overtime without our top two stars and without our number one goaltender, I could only imagine how things would have turned out if we had Leon Draisaitl or Connor McDavid or Stuart Skinner in the net. But unfortunately, today was, I wanted it to be a revenge game from the first game of the season when they came in and beat the Edmonton Oilers and went on this amazing run, have been the top of the Western Conference, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But that's okay, because if there's a slight chance, we might meet them later on down the road. Hopefully. I'm hoping we do, and I'm hoping when the chips are on the table, because just like Canada versus the U.S., Connor Hellebuyck did beat Canada in an exhibition game. I want to remind you of all that. We have to wait till all the chips are on the table. I would love to see the Edmonton Oilers versus the Winnipeg Jets in the Western Conference Final, which would then secure for sure that a Canadian club is going to go to the Stanley Cup Final. And I think the Edmonton Oilers would win that. I'd actually believe that the Edmonton Oilers would win that. But look, whatever happened in this game, I cannot find a negative at all in this game. The Oilers played one of, if not the best teams in this league. Let's get started. The first period, Jeff Skinner promoted to the top line, and he's making an impact. Scores 5 minutes into the period. He gets his 12th of the season, completely unassisted. And then at 13:39 of the first period, Cole Perfetti gets his 15th of the season, assisted by Sandberg and Ehlers. Then we go to the second period. The Oilers come out flying, and guess who gets that first goal for the Edmonton Oilers? Or I should say the first goal of the period for the Edmonton Oilers, because he got the first goal for the Edmonton Oilers in the first period. Jeff Skinner, 13 on the season. 13th, I should say, on the season. He gets assisted by Connor McDavid and Darnell Nurse. 2 minutes later, though, however, the Winnipeg Jets score. Josh Morrissey gets his 11th from Niederreiter and Barron. Then we go to the third period. It's gridlocked, 2-2. The Oilers are playing pretty well. Then Brandon Tanev gets a greasy goal. He shoots it off of Skinner. Skinner makes a fantastic save, I might add. But then it bounces off his pad right to Tanev's stick. Tanev then hits it off the post, gets it right back, and then it goes into the net. Greasy goal. Don't like it. Not a big fan of it, especially when it works against me. But when it works for me, I love it. Hence why Zach Hyman, at 5:30 of the third period, he gets his 25th goal of the season. A greasy goal. We all love those greasy goals, just not when they're scored against us. Locking it up at 3-3. So now, as I mentioned earlier, this is where it got difficult. So the Oilers already started this game without Leon Draisaitl. Now Connor McDavid in the third period by this time before Zach Hyman scores his goal, has left the game in the third period with an apparent lower body injury. Hopefully that's not serious. I'm waiting for the updates. We'll see what happens. Then Stuart Skinner has a Winnipeg Jet player run into him because of Troy Stetcher, he's pulled out because of concussion protocol. He doesn't want to go, but he has to go. Calvin Pickard comes in. The Oilers elect to warm up Calvin Pickard, and it worked out perfectly because Calvin Pickard came in, made some crucial saves, kept the Oilers in the game to get it to overtime. Now, when we go to overtime, we have a lot of skill on our team, but when you're missing your top two players and your starting goaltender, and you're going up against a quality team, yes, I am going to admit it, a quality team like the Winnipeg Jets, it's an uphill climb. It's going to be tough. The Oilers tried. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins had slipped a pass over to Zach Hyman, and it was oh so close, right off the mask of Connor Hellebuck. But then Kyle Connor delivers the dagger into our hearts as Edmonton Oilers fans. I mean, we did get the point out of the game. It would have been nice to have 2 points so that that way we could have a 3-point cushion, but unfortunately, we got the point. I can't be mad about it. It is what it is. Kyle Connor gets his 37th of the season from Scheifele and Morrissey. I stated earlier, guys, look, positives, the Oilers held the top team in the league to overtime without its top two stars. Well, top star Draisaitl and McDavid going out in the third. That could have changed the whole context of the game. So I'm not really going to nitpick on any negatives of this game. I think the Oilers played very well. There were a few turnovers here and there, and it seemed like the Oilers were puck watching just a little bit in their own zone, but they found a way to collect themselves and make sure they kept the majority of Winnipeg's play to the perimeter, other than a few, interior shots. But I think the Oilers played very well. My positives were everybody was rolling. Everybody looked like they wanted to play. Everybody looked like they wanted to score. Everybody looked like they wanted to contribute offensively and defensively. And most importantly, this looked like an Oiler team that is prepared and geared to go into the playoffs. And they're going to be battling hard against teams like this. So this was a good measuring stick game for the Oilers. So obviously there's work to do, and hopefully we get Draisaitl and we get McDavid back, and hopefully we get Frederick into the lineup, and when we have Kane, everything is going to work out when we have everybody in the lineup healthy. That's my take, okay? I think that's potentially what's going to happen. Now, player of the game. I was very confused about who I wanted to give it to on this one. Yes, I would give it to Kyle Connor because, he won the game, but realistically, based off of the season that he's had, being in and out of the lineup, being on the fourth line, third line, second line, getting low amount of minutes, being put on the top line, consecutive games, I might add, Jeff Skinner. And he had 2 goals tonight. Jeff Skinner, without a doubt in my mind, is going to be the player of the game for this game for the Oilers. Moving forward, the Oilers are going to be playing against Seattle. Here's what I'm hoping for. Seattle is not a playoff team, but we shouldn't take them lightly. We need to go into Seattle. We need to win it. We need to win it with authority, especially considering we just won against Utah 7-1, and now we just pushed one of the top teams in the league to overtime and lost by 1 goal. It happens. Next on the schedule is Seattle, and we cannot take them lightly, regardless of who's in the lineup. We cannot take them lightly. We need to go in there and we need to show why we are still good. Because after that, we have a 2 or 3 day break that we need to rest up our players. I think everybody played very well today. If I'm going to look at it, yes, the Oilers had 23 giveaways. It just didn't seem like it was that many giveaways. I've got to figure out what they're counting as giveaways, but the Oilers played well. The one thing I think the Oilers need to figure out, because their penalty kill was fantastic. They killed a 2 minute or a 1 minute two men man advantage for the Winnipeg Jets. They did. The penalty kill seems like it's clicking again. It's the power play that needs to find a way to adjust and get some scoring, because we live and die by special teams. If you guys know hockey, teams will live and die by special teams. When we go into playoffs, that's going to be critical. So, It is what it is, guys. Unfortunately, we lost. It sucks. It's a tough pill to swallow because we pushed the best team in the league to overtime and we were within one goal of beating them. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? Does that sound anything remotely close to how the Stanley Cup final ended last season? Sometimes we fall short, but it's things like this, it's games like this where we study and we learn and we garner attention to detail and overcome adversity. And I think the Oilers will do that. I'm confident in that group because it's a fantastic team. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please don't hesitate to like and share and comment whatever opinion you have. It means all the world to me. Don't forget to hit subscribe as well because we're gaining subscribers and our goal is 500. We're at 86, I believe. We're getting there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like the content, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It means the world to me to have your interaction, and I will catch you on the next video.